Hi, everybody. This is Mary Kramer, your professor for drug education this summer. Just a few tips and reminders for everybody. We should be starting module 2 this week. I just want to make sure everybody's on the same page and we set everybody to do well. Make sure that when you email me, let me know what class you're in. That's just kind of a bottom line email request for every class. It's always good to just mention I'm in your whatever class, whatever section, because some of us are teaching multiple classes and in some cases with multiple departments. So also working on grading module 1 right now, and it sometimes takes me a few days because a lot of you submit on the very last day. So they come flying in. So I wanted to just mention, make sure you check your feedback. Especially if you don't get the full points. I always tell you exactly why you missed out on some points on the view and reflect worksheets, because most of the time I just need more depth to assess your knowledge, or sometimes you just accidentally forget to do a question. I'm not sure. So make sure you always check your feedback. That will help you for the next week. The other thing is your discussions. Now, I haven't graded all the discussion. That takes some time, but make sure that you are not only answering the question, but you are reading other people and also replying to at least 2 other people. Then you'll get the full points, as long as you are, making a worthwhile response and not just saying yes or no, I agree. And there are some instructions in there for what I'm looking for. So it's okay to express your opinion or share an experience that you've had. This next week, we're talking about mental health and medications for mental health. And I think it's really helpful to hear other people's perspectives. Some of us have been living with mental health challenges. Some of us know relatives or friends or family, or, we have things that we can share and learn from each other. So make sure you always check the feedback. I have it set up so that you know your cumulative score all the way through this term. So there should be absolutely no surprises at the end of the course with your grade. You should know exactly what you're getting. And if you don't understand, just shoot me an email and I can help you out. So quiz number 1, I always go through and double check some of the statistics to make sure that on the questions that more than 50% missed, I want to make sure that I had the right answer, or maybe I had a typo, or I always double check. So there may be some cases where I throw out a question, which means I basically give everybody the point. So you might see some score adjustments. Your score won't go down, but it might go up a little bit. Just wanted to let you know why that was happening, if that happens. I haven't gotten to that point yet with this first module quiz. But for the quiz, you can make sure that here's what I suggest. When you guys go into Connect, for this next week, you should be able to see module 2, and there's 2 groupings of chapters. I kind of kept them together. 4 and 5, 4 and 5 are real kind of technical. And they are about the nervous system. You're going to learn a little bit about anatomy, physiology, what it's like normally in the non-impaired brain. And then you will see what the different substances do. They act differently. Some of them act on different neurotransmitters. Some of them hijack a neurotransmitter. So that's what I want you to learn with chapters 4 and 5. And then the next part of module 2, we are looking into different classes. This is where we start the rest of the course. We're looking into the different classes of drugs and what are the some of the features. So we'll be looking at uppers and downers, the stimulants, the benzos, the depressants, and then mental disorder medications. So there are really 2 sets of modules for this. So what I was going to say, I want to make sure you all understand that you can easily get right into your textbook. Okay, so before the quiz, it's always a good idea to kind of review this chapter summaries for all the chapters that you did. So just get right into that. And I'm going to show you really quickly how that can be so easy to do. Hold on. So yeah, hopefully you can see, I'm going live into it. So if you click on this, you've got full access to the ebook, and you can actually look up by chapter. So you wanted to look back on, the brain. You can go ahead and just read, certain sections that you feel a little fuzzy on, or you can also, there's some great features in this. And I want to make sure you all know, now it said this maybe if you did some of the introductory videos, but you can actually have this read to you. You can change the font size. So you can highlight just like any other book. So wanted to make sure you knew that. You can also have it read to you. And I don't see the feature right now. Sometimes they update it a little bit. Let me see if I can go back to finding out how you have it read to you. Let's say while you're reading this chapter on neurons. Oh, here it is. This little symbol right here, it will actually read
components of the nervous system, the body's tissue.
Okay, so if you're out for a walk, out for a cycle ride, you're on a treadmill, you're, waiting in the doctor's office, you can put on your headphones and just listen to a chapter, which is a really nice idea, especially if you, with these more technical chapters. Also, the things that are highlighted, see these words, you can also just click on that and it gives you the definition right away. So that's a really handy thing. So you might want to just go through the chapter before you take the quiz. I find that helps some students, especially if you have never had with this chapter, if you've never had at least high school biology or chemistry, this is going to be a lot. This is going to be a lot for you for chapters 4 and 5. So, and also at the end of each chapter, there is a chapter summary. You can see it. I'm pulling it up right here. Just read through these at the very minimum. That's what I would suggest you do. So that covers that. So if you look at the schedule of the class, if you're not sure what's due, there's two things you can do. One thing is you just check off as you go on this schedule that is available in the step 3 of the introductory materials. So, and you can see there's kind of an order that we do every time. And then the other thing that you can do, I really suggest you do all of the assignments. Now, there were a few of you that forgot to take the quiz, and that's okay for the first time. I let them in for today. That happens, but make sure, make sure that you are going in through materials and then content. And then when you click on each module, it will list everything in this order. And you won't forget anything. You won't do anything out of order. You'll be great. So that's the way I suggest you do this. So that's all I have to say. I just want to make sure that you're open. Be open. The mind is like a parachute. It doesn't work unless it's open. So if I ask you, what's a new perspective? What did you learn? What are some insights you have? I'm not going to give you points if you say I didn't learn anything, because really that's up to you. I provide the material. Hopefully you're doing more than just being a robot. You're actually, applying some of this to your life and thinking about it in a more a deep way. So that's what I'm asking on the view and reflect and the discussions. I'm asking you to think. It doesn't take a lot of time, but I want you to relate it, to connect it, to apply it. So that's what I'm looking for. So that's all I have. Just make sure that you look at your feedback. I will make sure to give you a reason why I take points off, and you can always email me at any time if you have any questions. Thanks a lot.